Hello guys, welcome to another video, and in this video I'm gonna teach you how to make this origami, the Dragon Knight designed by Obelisk. I did a time lapse on this origami, so I'll leave a link also in the description, and also make sure you go follow Obelisk. I'll leave a link for his Flickr page because he let me do this tutorial. So that was really nice of him, and yeah, go make sure to check it out. So yeah, this origami is designed by Obelisk. It is a really nice origami, and in this particular video I'm gonna show you how to precrease the crease pattern, and then on the next video how to collapse it. So yeah, as I said, this video is gonna be this tutorial is gonna be based on the crease pattern, which is this one. I'll also leave a link in the description for it. So yeah, so it's not recommended if you don't have any experience folding crease patterns. Okay, so it is the crease pattern is fairly simple. There's no weird lines, so it's always 45 degrees or 90-degree lines. So it's not that hard to precrease, and collapsing is a bit hard, but not that much. So I recommend you do this tutorial if you have some experience folding crease patterns. Nonetheless, if you don't, you can also try it, and you can get hands-on experience. nothing better than that. So yeah, so another thing, this is actually my second time making this video, because I actually made one before, and as you can see I have the paper here, which is almost everything pre-creased. And the reason that you're not watching that video is because when I was editing it, I realized that my head was in front of the camera the whole time, which is not good. So I really didn't feel like doing another one of these, because it's just boring, and it would be the third time that I will be doing this. So I'll be doing this tutorial in a different way. Basically, this crease pattern can be divided into the sections. So for example, this is a head, another one, then you have here the back legs, then this part here is the wings, and then you have the knight here and the front legs here. So what I'm gonna do is actually teach you how to precrease each single part of these ones, and then show you like reference points of where you can place them in the crease pattern. For example, I have here a piece of paper where I'm gonna teach you how to precrease this part, and I'm gonna show you where this is on the original paper. Okay, so hopefully it's a bit different, and I would rather do it with the big paper that I did, but I'm not gonna do it again, sorry. And hopefully you can do it. I'll try my best to make it simple for you, okay? So yeah, regarding paper, so this origami was made from a 50 centimeter craft, and I really don't recommend anything less than 50 centimeter, or 50 centimeter is also too small. I recommend like 60 or 70 centimeters. And also a paper that is thin, so craft is thin paper, tissue paper also works. Yeah, so I have here, I'm also in the next video going to show you how to collapse. I'm also going to use a 50 centimeter paper, and as you can see the divisions are quite small, okay? So it might be harder to make some details, and collapsing is also harder, but this is all I have and I'm going to use that. But since you're this also depends on your level of experience, because if you're more experienced you can fold it with the smaller paper, but if not, with the bigger paper is easier. So I think introduction is done. I think we can start actually precreasing. So I'm going to teach you how to precrease the head first. So yeah, actually I said that I was going to teach you to precrease and then show you where it is, but I'll do that in reverse order because that's easier. So let's start with this head. Okay, so all the heads have the same crease pattern, but let's start with this one. So this one is actually easy because this middle line here that divides the head into two parts, so this line here is actually the middle line of the paper, okay? So I have here 12, yeah. Oh, I forgot one thing, actually, sorry about that. I'll leave a link. I'll post something in the video, but this is a 64 by 64 grid, in case you haven't noticed. And again, when you're folding the grid, make sure you have this like zigzag pattern that I'm always telling about, so mountain, valley, and so on. And make sure that when you're precreasing, the first line that you see is a mountain fold, okay? That makes it a lot easier. So yeah, as I was saying, I have it. I have this here. I'm gonna show. So I'm gonna fold it like that. So first line is a mountain fold, and then, as I was saying, this line right here is the middle of the paper. So I'm gonna assume this is the middle of the paper. I'm just gonna crease it. Okay, I'm just gonna mark. So this is the middle line of the paper. So you don't need to do this. I recommend you doing this on the actual paper. So what you're going to do is actually take your paper you're already pre-creased with a grid paper. You're going to fold it in the middle line, which is here. Okay, and basically this point here is going to be this one. Okay, so all I'm doing is like cutting out the section of the paper and just doing it here. Okay, it's the exact same thing. So basically all the lines that I'm gonna do here are gonna be the same size as these ones, but you can actually do it, but obviously this part is not part of this here. Okay, so this is only, this is only this part right here, it's not the entire crease pattern. So what you're gonna do is actually, what I'm doing here, you can actually do it on your paper. You don't have to do it on a smaller paper, okay? So yeah, so let's start with the head. So just sit down. What we're going to do first is actually do this bigger square here, okay? I know some of these lines actually go on, but let's do this first, and then we'll continue this line. So basically, from this point here, which is the intersection of the middle line and the edge of the paper, you're gonna fold a diagonal with 4 units long, and then another one with 4 units long, again to the middle of the paper. So basically, from this point, 4 units here, and then 4 units up, which is here, and then again, so this is this one, and then go back to the original point. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. So again, do this on your paper with the grid, so on your paper that you're going to collapse with, okay? I'm only doing it on this smaller paper because the paper that I pre-creased already has this pre-creased, so it wouldn't be that much of a tutorial if the paper was already pre-creased. And again, sorry about that. Well, also, if you have some experience, this shouldn't be a problem for you, okay? So yeah, so I just made this square. Let me just mark it so you can see. Okay, this one, okay, which is this bigger square here. So now we can actually fold some other lines that depend on these ones. So for example, we can crease these parts here, okay? So you just have to continue these lines 2 more units up. Okay, let's do that. So this one, just crease 2 more units. Since you have the grid already pre-creased, it's a lot easier to just align these lines with the intersection of the grid. So let's do that. So we just did these ones, and we can also do, let's do, for example, yeah, these ones. So these 2 lines also continue for an extra 2 units. So you continue this side, extra 2 units, 1 down, 1 up, and on this side as well. Okay, so do that. This, oh, by the way, this line is already creased just because I used it to cut the square. So yeah, this line. Okay, so this one, and then on this side as well. Okay, perfect. Should have something like that now. Now let's do this line here, these two, which is basically taking this point and folding it to the edge of the paper. So all of these lines are a 45-degree angle, so they should be really simple to make. Okay. But also, you don't have to make pencil marks like I'm doing. I'm just doing that so you can see what I'm folding. And now from the point you just got, let's do this line right here. Okay, this line and this one. So basically, I know that they carry on. Actually, we can do that. So basically, from this point, you're gonna go 2 units, 4, 6, 7 units. Okay, so basically, from this point you go these 2, 6, 4, 6, and the next one. So here. So this is where it stops. And the same thing on this side. So 2, 4, 6, 7, and you stop here. Okay, so let's do that. It's important for you to as much as you can only crease the lines that appear on the crease pattern. Because, for example, let's say that you actually just fold this all the way. This is actually not a good one because this is also continuous. But let's say that you fold this one all the way to the paper. Let's say you fold it. It could be confusing when you're collapsing, because when you're collapsing, you're not viewing the paper as you're actually viewing it here. Sorry about that. What would happen is you could probably confuse this line with this one. So when creasing crease patterns, try to make the lines only that appear on the crease pattern. Okay, apart from the grid lines that are necessary, but that's just how it is. So, but these diagonals, just fold here, for example, this part. So yeah, only fold the lines that appear on the crease pattern, apart from the grid. Like that. So this side as well. Probably yeah, okay, that's good. Probably I'm doing this a bit faster because it's easier for me to actually fold it in a smaller paper to fold these lines, but just pause the video, don't be afraid of that, and just come back when you have it. Okay, so now all we have to do is these little zigzag patterns, or this looks like a heart here as well, and on this side. So let's do these ones first. So basically from these 2 points here, which are these ones, you're gonna go down, then you're gonna go down and right, down left, and then down right again. So you make this little heart here, and the same thing on that side. Here I'm also creasing every line as a mountain fold, just because in this particular crease pattern there's no indication of whether this line is a mountain fold or a valley fold, so you can just fold whatever you want. Of course, if you have more experience, maybe during time you'll just know, okay, this has to be for sure a mountain fold, but that comes with experience, so don't worry about that. So okay, so I have that. Let's do that, the same thing on this side. again, here I'm doing my best to only crease this 1 unit diagonal. Okay, just to make sure that I know that the line only goes that way when I'm pre-creasing, and I don't actually, when I'm collapsing, I don't get confused. Okay, so this one. And now all we have to do left is these ones, okay? These parts here. So let's do those. So basically here I'm gonna go one up right, up left, and then up right, okay? Okay, do that, and do the same thing on this side. Perfect. Okay, so honestly everything from the head is done. You might be wondering, well, yeah, but there are lines on the crease pattern that are not here. That's true, but the lines that are here are already creased, which are the grid lines. For example, this square here is part of the grid, so this square here is just this square right here, okay? And so on. All the lines here are actually collapsed. So as you can see here, so the head is done, but now let me give you some more reference points. So this point right here, these 2 points should be should be, so 1, 2, 3, so 9. So this should be 9 units here. Okay, 9. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so make sure you have that right. It's the same here, and also this part here. I mean, I guess you can. This is for sure right. Okay, there's no way you couldn't mess this up. So I'm just gonna ignore that. So what I'm gonna show you is this line right here, because I cannot fully crease these lines up to its full size, because that would go out of the paper. But what I can show you is from this point you're actually gonna fold a diagonal, okay? So just following the grids, you're gonna fold it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units, okay? And you get to this point, okay? So as you can see, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so on your paper you can do this line already. You're gonna get this point and you're gonna fold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I can't do it here as I said, but do that now, okay? And only make sure you fold it to this. So only this size. And this thing is the exact same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so make sure you also crease this these 2 lines. I'm gonna crease them as far as I can, which is only 3 units, but you have to crease all the 7 units. Okay, like that. And this is for this head right here. Now what I'm gonna do is actually show you where you can place on your paper the other heads. So basically all you have to do now is I tell you where this, for example, this middle line here is, because as you can see it's not actually at the middle of the paper as it was here, but I can tell you where this line here is, and then you can fold the exact same thing you did here. Okay, so we just have to turn the paper and then fold the exact same thing. So I've already counted this, and from the bottom of the paper up to this line here, which is the middle, and it's the middle of both heads. So if you go along that one, they are on the same horizontal line. So from here you have 28 units. Okay, so on my paper, which I've already pre-creased, let me see if I can show you. So the middle of that head is here. Let me just crease that line so you can okay, so this is the head that I just told you how to collapse. So this one, this right here. Okay, and now, so from the bottom here, from the edge, you're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Okay, so on the 28 you will know that it's the middle of the head, so it's right here. So another way to actually make sure you don't mistaken, if you folded the grid like I did, which is on a zigzag, so mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley, so on, this line is a valley fold. Okay, and if your first line here is a mountain fold, like I told you, so if your paper is up and this is a mountain fold, this line should be a valley fold, as well as the middle one. Okay, so what you're gonna do, hopefully you can get this point right, is actually make sure, so you have this point here, this is the 28th line starting from the bottom. You actually, okay, I have it here, so I just turn the paper around and I do the exact same thing. Okay, I do this here as well. It's the exact same thing. Okay, and another thing, as you can see here, so this head, so these two lines as well are also the same length. Okay, so from these 2 points, remember, which is the same as these 2 points right here. Okay, you want to make a diagonal with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. Okay, and you're gonna end up here, and you do the same thing on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and you end up at that point. One thing you can do once you've done that, once you collapse this, or you can actually make sure, yeah, do this, it's better. So make sure that you have this point correct. You can actually have a reference relative to this point. So this point here, in comparison to this one, they are on the exact same horizontal line. Okay, but they are 4 units apart. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So from yeah, I can't show it here, but from this point here, which is 7 units in the diagonal into from this point, you go 4, and then if you do a diagonal here all the way down, you should get a point here on the edge that is 4 units apart from this one. Okay, and actually, so this right here is 32, so 28 plus 4 is 32, and actually this is the middle of the paper. Okay, because the grid is 64 by 64. So in case you want to do that, you can also do that. So fold the middle of the paper and then go 4 units down, and you get to the middle of the head. Okay, so hopefully that was enough explanation, and you can do that. And you can do the exact same thing on this side. So the heads are aligned horizontally. So if you want to go, so this is the middle line of the paper, and like that. So this is 32. So if you go 4 down in this direction, you get to 28, sorry, which is the middle of the head. These lines are on the same. This line is the same as this one. Okay. So hopefully you could do that. Okay, and do that, and then what I'm gonna show you right now is something that I'm not gonna fold because it's really simple, but I'm gonna show you, or I'm gonna tell you how you can do it, which is the wings. So the wings are just 3 diagonals, so that's why I'm not gonna use a paper to show you how to do that. So basically, once you've done the head, so pause the video right now, do the 2 heads or do 1, and then come back so you make sure you have everything right, and then you can do it on the other side. So do that, pause the video and then come back. Okay, I've assumed you've now come back and you have this point here. Okay, so again is 7 units in the diagonal from this point right here. From this point you're gonna go 2 units down on the diagonal, okay, and you're gonna get to this point. So do that, fold these 2 units down, and then you fold 2 units but up this time. Sorry, I meant down, but I meant up and left, and then up and right. You get, it depends where I'm holding the paper, but let's say I'm holding it like this. So you go from this point, you go up left 2 units, and then from that point you go up left 2 units again, and then you just fold the diagonal all the way to the edge of the paper. Okay, so I believe this is 16 units. Let's see. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15, yeah, 16. So if you do this 7 and then these 2 and then these 2 and then go 16, you should end up with a point that's 4 units below the top of the paper. So this is 4 units, okay, 1 2 3 4, which means that if you did everything right, and this is 7 units, this is 2 units, this is 2 units, and this is 16 units, and this is 4 units from the top of the paper, you're all good, okay? And hopefully that's what I want. That's what I wanted you to do. I want it to be everything perfect, and hopefully it is. So do that, make sure everything is right, and if you want now, or if you're already done the head on that side, you can just do this part here as well, so it's symmetrical. So the paper, all we've done here is symmetrical, only these 2 parts that are not symmetrical, but I'm gonna show you how to make these ones individually, and also this part, don't worry about that. So basically, yeah, do that. You should get to this point, which is again 4 units down from the edge of the paper, and the same thing here. So from this point, go 7 units, go 2, 2, and then 16 units, and you should arrive at the same exact horizontal line. Okay, so I can show you on my paper here, actually. Hopefully you can see. Let me see here. So it's like that. So yeah, so let's see right here. So I have here, I don't know if you can see it, but I have here from this point right here is this one, and then from here I made a diagonal with 7 units. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, okay, just like that, and then 2, these 2, and then these 2, and then 16 all the way to the edge of the paper. Wait, you can see 16 all the way to the edge of the paper. And if you take a look at it, this point is actually 4 units below the edge of the paper. So 1 2 3 4, and you have the point. So this is the point, 1 2 3 4, and you should do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so once you've done that, you should have the 3 heads pre-creased plus the wings. This part here is the wings. And next we're gonna fold this part right here, okay? Okay, so let's continue. Let's now fold or pre-crease this part right here. So this is going to be the legs, okay? This part right here are going to be the back legs, and once again I'm showing you here how to do it, and then you just fold it on your own paper. I'm actually only going to show you half, so I'm going to show you like something like this, or yes, I'm not going to I can put both of them here and still make it here because the paper is not big. It's not big enough,
but don't worry. So I'm actually going to show you like from, let me just divide here. So this is the middle line. I'm just continuing it, and as you can see, the paper is obviously symmetrical here. So I'm going to show you how to do this side, and then you just repeat it on this side. So there are a number of reference points from where you can start this part. You can start it like from here. You can count like 3 units up, and then you can fold. I think this is also 3. Yeah, so this is the same diagonal here, and then you can fold this diagonal and get to that one. But I think it's easier if you start from this part. So as you can see here, I have it annotated. So from this point to the left side of the paper, you have 25 units. Okay, and once again, from this point here to the right side of the paper, you have again 25 units, which means you have 14 units here in the middle. So you should have this. You should have, if you want, you can just mark both of them. So go from the left, go 25, and then 14, and then you should have 25. Or you can go 25 on this side, 25, and then you count this one, it should be 14. I can show you here on my paper. So this is the top half. So as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, 25. So, and this one should be, again, if you fold it the grid like I did, like I told you to. So mountain fold, valley, mountain, valley. This is a mountain fold. And then if you want to count 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You should get to the other reference point, and then this should be 25. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25. Yes. So yeah, 25 plus 25 plus 14 is 64. So obviously that works. So yeah, what I'm gonna do, so go ahead and count those in and make sure you mark these 2 points. You can just mark them with a pencil, just make like a small marking with a pencil or with a pen, something like that, and so you know where you have it. And what I'm gonna do is actually pretend that this line here, the 25th line, is actually this one. Okay, so it's pretty much aligned like that. And as you can see, I can't fold this one because I would have to have 14 units here, which I don't. I only have 12 because this is a 24 by 24 grid. So nonetheless, I'll do this part, and then you can do this as well, and then you repeat the same thing on this side. So let's do that. So I'm just gonna mark this line right here, because this line is this one. Okay, so let's first do these little squares here. What I like to do in this type of fold, in this type of precreases, and they happen a lot, is actually make a continuous line. So I start on this point and then fold 2, in this case then 3, then 2, then 2, then just 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 2. So make sure, just like a continuous, you can do it whatever how you like it, but I'm just going to do that. So basically you go to this side, so basically 2 units here. Do that. And then you could go 2 and then plus 1, but I think it's easier if you just do all the 3 of them. So 3, just like that, do that. Just crease this line a bit. Okay, now from this point you go 2 again. And then from this point you go 2 again. and now you only go 1. Okay. Okay, so basically you should have something like that. This doesn't look like anything, but once you do the other side, it will. So basically you have this point here, and this point should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units from the edge of the paper. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, yeah, 10 units. That was confusing. So yeah, 10 units from the edge of the paper. And now you just go the other way around. So make this symmetrical relative to this line. Okay, now you should have the squares done. Let me just mark them. Okay, so you should have 3 small squares, then a big one. And now we can do these lines, these 2 lines here. So basically they start 1 unit below this one, so they start on this point here, and on this side there you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. Okay, so from this point you go 2, 4, 6 units, you go all the way there. So let me fold that. And as I showed you before, one way to make sure that this line is correct and correctly placed on the paper is this line should be aligned with this part of the wings that you did here. So as you can see here on my paper, the line that we just did was this one, so 2, 4, 6. And as you can see, if you had creased 3 more units, you would end up at this. Okay, but don't crease this part because it would be confusing. Yeah. Let's now carry on. And to the other side, I believe it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, sorry. I don't seem to be counting well. So go 7 units now. 2, 4, 6, 7. So it's 1 more than the other side. Okay. And now you should have something, this triangle, which is not really a triangle. So yeah, you don't only fold at this point, so only fold at the center line of the paper. Remember, it's this one. Don't fold like this, we'll fold him in a second. So fold only to this point here, which is here. Okay, so what you're going to do now is let's fold these lines right here. So I can't fold this line all the way because I would need a bigger paper, but I can again give you some reference points. So basically this line starts 2 units below this one, so on the same vertical line. So basically you have this point, you go 2 units below, 1, 2 here, and you start folding this line. As you can see here, this line, I'm not gonna count how many units it has, but it pretty much has, you can fold it maybe to here and then we'll fold the rest, but basically it passes by the middle of the paper. So actually this is the diagonal. This is the diagonal of the paper. If you would carry on with this one, it would hit the corner of the paper, this one's as well. So if you have folded the diagonal, this should be it. They should all intersect here. So I'm gonna fold that as well. And yeah, you can also, if you want, I'll teach you how to do that. I'll show you where does this line end as well first. But if you want to continue creasing it, as you can see, this is the point that I was talking to you about before. So this is the point that is on the same horizontal line as this one and 4 units apart. So basically, if you precrease this line here, which is the same as this one, so if you precrease this line, go all the way down, you should end up on the same horizontal line, but 4 units apart from this point right here, which is like that part we did when we folded the head. So you can do that. You can fold like this giant cross here, which is the diagonal. Once again, I'm just gonna fold not here. I'm just gonna fold what I can. Okay, like that, and this goes on forever. And almost done. So all we need to do now is these little zigzag lines. Now I know when I first when I first saw this crease pattern, I thought that the weird thing about this was these zigzag lines, but then I gave it some thought, and they're actually, and then I verified it when I was collapsing, they're actually not important to collapsing the paper. Let me give you an example. Yeah, let me give you, so this is the, no, actually, let me start here. So there are only 2 ways that this pattern can be formed, and one way is if you actually fold the paper. Wait, okay, let me just get another paper. So imagine I have this part here. Let me just fold it like that. I'm not folding it very well, but doesn't really matter. I just want to show you how you can fold this part here. So let's say you have something like it, right? You have like that. So we already know that from crease patterns, these lines are usually, or almost ever, mountain valley, so they are alternated. So let's do that. So alternated, and there's something like that. Okay. So let's imagine that this part is somewhere here. Now, there are only 2 ways that these lines can appear. One of them is if you fold something like that. Okay, is if you do that, do this 45-degree angle and just fold the paper like that. Because if you unfold, you'll see this pattern right here. Now, this in fact is why these lines are here, just to indicate that you have to make this actual fold. Now there's another way you can actually precrease or collapse these lines, which would be to reverse the orientation of the line. So basically, when you come to this point, you make this a valley fold, and then this just keep basically making all of these lines, all of these zigzags, make them as one orientation for all of them, and that would result in something like this. So pretty much the same thing. So the result looks the same, but now the orientation of the lines are reversed. But this is not the case. So what happens with these lines is you just fold it like that. So honestly, it's not that important that you precrease these lines, but I recommend you doing so. I did it, but they really don't have that much of an influence when you're collapsing. Either way, I'm gonna show you how you can precrease them. So basically, you start from this point here, which is again 2 units below this one, and then you just go 1 unit, 1, 1, 1. So basically, just zigzag 1 unit. Okay, so basically from here you go 1, 1, 1, 1, and so on. I'm gonna do that, and actually I'm just gonna draw it. I'm not gonna fold them. So to 1, what happens is you can see is one point should meet this other point here. So basically that just keep on doing, and as you can see, if I fold it now here, this point intersects with the other point here, okay? And then once again, I can't do it on the other side as well, but you could just carry on. So this right here is the middle line of the paper, okay? So it would be something like that. Of course, it's not the same scale, but it would be something like that, okay? And this is all you have to do for the legs. So all the remaining lines are again grid lines, so you don't have to worry about that. And honestly, what you can do now is just repeat this on this side right here, okay? It's the exact same thing. Let me see if you can have another way of making sure that everything is correct, but I think that's enough. Yeah, do this on this side, this part right here, and then do the same thing on the other side. And yes, we're almost there. So yeah, we're almost there. So what I'm gonna show you now is this part here, which is the front legs. So this part here, the front legs, and then after I'm gonna show you this part, which is the knight and the sword. So let me get another paper. I have one here. Okay, so I'm gonna do this a bit differently, because when I was collapsing this or precreasing this part on my origami, I actually started from this point, because I already knew where this point was, so I could just make that, I could make that and make that. But in this paper, since this is not the full paper, I don't know where this point is. It could be like wherever. So what I'm gonna do is start from this point, and I'm gonna get to this point, and you should verify that that in your paper, once you start from this point and make these lines, you should end up at that point, okay? So what I'm gonna do is start from here. So basically this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the 8th line. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So on this line you go on a diagonal of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Again, only fold to this point right here. Okay, 7 units from this line right here, okay? So it would be something like that. 2, 4, 6, 7 up to this point. Okay. Just like that. And now, once you're at this point, you're gonna go 6 units down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so from this point 6 units, 2, 4, 6. Again, it should be 1 unit above where you started. Okay, like that. And then you're gonna go, I believe it's 7, so from this point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you should end up at that point that we talked about. So go 7 units, 6, 7, right here. Let me just crease it. And now this line, this point here should be 1 above this line. Okay, so as you can see, it's 1 above this point here, and it should be the point that you made when you were precreasing the head. So if I bring the head here, let's see if I can actually align these. Well, I can't because there are different scales, but yeah, I can't do anything with this. So what I wanted to show you is that if you continue down this line, another 3 units in my case, so 7 in total, this 7, you would end up at this point right here. Let me show you on my paper. So once again, this part that we just pre-creased. So I started from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I did 7 units, 6 units, and then you can barely see it, but and I did 7 units again, and this point right here is the one that connects with the head. So the head is right here, and this is 7 units long as well. Okay, so that's another way to make sure that you have everything in the right place. Now once you've done that, the remaining of the lines are pretty simple. So for example, let's do these ones, these two. All you have to do is just make a line 2 units up and then another one going like that. So pretty simple. Okay, and now these ones, this is the exact same thing that we did here with the back legs, except they have one less toe. So as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 points here, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is exactly what happens with the origami. As you can see, the back leg has 5 toes, and the front leg only has 4. So yeah, to do that, to get to this one, you could get it in a number of ways. So you could, the easiest one is to, from this point, just make a straight line down from this point, which is this one. So make a straight line down, and then here, which is this one, you go 2, 3, 2, 1. So make that little line again. So I'm gonna do that. So from here, I'm gonna do that line. Okay, so once you've done that, you should have one big square plus 2 smaller squares, and the smaller square that's in the upmost position should be 1 unit from this point here. Okay, which is the same here. Now all we have to do left for the oh yeah, so the point I was talking to you about, this point right here that you made from this part here. So let's see here. So okay, so yeah, this line would go on and on. So this line is this one, so it would go on, by the way, just like that, and then it would have arrived 4 units. So here, oh, it's actually the diagonal, this one. So let me just, so if I were to put things, it would be like that, something like that. Okay, I don't know if this is where it should be, but it doesn't really matter. What I want to say is that this point, as you can see now, it's 4 units apart from this one, like I said, and yeah, and then this point, this one as well, should be again 7 units from this head, from this point, from this head here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so the other head should be somewhere around here. So the other thing we need to do here is, again, these diagonal lines. Once again, it's the same thing that happens here. They are not essential to the collapsing of the origami, but essential to the shaping, so to say. So I'm just gonna draw them, and I'm gonna show you how you can start them. So two different ways. You can actually start it from this point. So from this point, if you go one down, you have this little 2-point line. So if you go one down, you have this line right here, okay, which is this one. And then from this point, you just go all the way down, and then to the side as well. Another way you can make sure is that as you're going to the right, you should have again a point that intersects here, like that. And if you keep on going, you should once again have a point that intersects with this one, just like that. So I'm not gonna precrease this part because that would be just a waste of time. In this case, for the paper, because I actually precreased them here, as you can see. Hopefully you can see. Yeah, there they are. By the way, I just noticed that my window is open, so you can kind of see the sun. I tried to close it, but whatever. And yeah, so let me just keep on doing this. So another way to make sure you have things right is by checking the orientation of these last lines. So they should match the one on the crease pattern, as they do here. And yeah, next I'm gonna show you the last thing, which is the night. Okay, so one last thing to do, which is precrease the night. And once again, I would start from here on the original paper, but since I once again don't have the reference point here on this one, I'm just gonna start it from here, I believe. Yeah, I think it's a bit harder to get to this point from here, but let's do that. So from this point, which is the corner of the paper, you're actually gonna make a line for with 1, 2, 3, 4 units long. Okay, so only fold to this point. So 4 units long. Let me just hold it like that. So this is again the diagonal of the paper. So if you've already done that, I need to do it again. So this line right here, and then from that point you go 2 to the left and then 4 to the right, actually. So 2 to the left, 4 to the right. So basically from here you go 2 and then 4, like that. You have these 2 lines now, and from this point you're actually gonna make so this point right here is this one, so you're actually gonna make 1 to the left, 1 to the right, so this one. So let's do that as well. And as you can see, from this point we kind of don't know where to go from here, but we can find it out. So basically now this point right here is this one. So if we go 1 unit to the right, we get to this point, and if from this point we do this line here, so this unit, so let's do that. So from this point you go 1 to the right, and then you do this line, that, and then from this point, if you go 1 unit up, you get to this point, and then you can easily get to that one. So let's do that. So from this point you go 2 down, 2 up. So from this point is this one, so 1 up, which is here. You go 2 down, 2 up. That. I'm just gonna actually draw the lines here, so better. You don't have to draw it again. So, and from this point you go 3 down, and then you go 5. You go 5. So 3. Let's do 3 first. So up to here. So this line. And then from this point you go 5 up. Okay, so 2, 4, 5. And this point once again should be the one that you did when you pre-creased the head. Okay, so they should again line up nicely, which is again 4 units apart, far off from this one. So yeah, make sure you have that. If you don't, maybe there's something wrong here. Maybe make sure you have everything right. So this one should be here. Should align with that one you did when you pre-creased the head. Okay, this one. And now, yeah, this you could also make. I could also make this part, which would again result in the not like that. This one. So if you actually look at it, since I use the same grid here for this, so this is the one I used previously for the right side. Sorry, you can actually see that they are the same distance apart from the side. So this point is the same, so as a certain amount of units that side, but this point has also the same amount of units from that side. So what I'm trying to say is that these 2 points should be symmetric relative to the middle line. In that, and okay, so let's start doing other things here. So here, let's go. Let's do here. So for here on this point, let's start with this point right here, and you're actually gonna go like continue this line one more and continue this line as well. So 1 more unit here, and then another one here. Okay, so this part right here, and then you can actually do the same zigzag pattern here. So let's do down first. So do this one. I'm not gonna pre-crease them, they're just gonna they're gonna be the same thing that happens with this one and this one. So I'm not gonna pre-crease them, I'm just gonna draw them. But again, you should pre-crease. I did it as well in my paper, like that. And then with this one, we're actually gonna go and make a little heart shape here. Okay, so from this point you go 1, 1, and then from here, you instead of 1, you're gonna go up to the line and 1 more. Okay, so I'm gonna just crease that. Okay, so you should have this this heart here. Okay, and now from this point, you once again do the zigzags. Okay, so this part should be done. This part, by the way, is the sword, and this is the sword right here. And we're actually gonna make a few more lines here, but let's finish this part first. So what can we do now? Oh yeah, so let's make this incomplete heart, I guess. So if you want, you can actually start it from here. So you can you know that this point here. Actually zoom a little bit. Don't know why I didn't do that. So this point right here is 1 unit above this one. So which means that there's this like that. Then we go and do that one, and then 1 up again, which is this one, and then you go 2 up to the left, and then 1 down to the left. So you should have this incomplete heart here. Okay, I'm gonna pre-crease that as well. Okay, and now let's also do, so we can do these ones as well, which again are the same thing with these ones, so not important to collapse, but let's precrease them anyway, which means you can actually start from this point here. So this point, so you can see you have like an hexagon here, not quite, but almost, and actually it's this one here. So this point here is this one, and you're just gonna go 1 unit to the right and then do this part here, so like that. Okay, so you have this little hexagon here, and then you just keep on doing them all the way down. So let me do that. Again, make sure the orientation, in order to confirm that everything is correct, make sure that the orientation of this line matches the orientation of this line, so it's the same. So if this was like that, then something would be wrong. And then from this point, if you continue here, so again from this point you have this line, and now you're gonna make a line like that, which is this one. Okay, gonna make a line like that, and then once again you're just gonna go diagonals, zigzag again, and once again make sure that this orientation is the same as this one. Now all we need to do now is also these lines. So again, I'm not gonna precrease them in this paper, I already did on that one, so you should do that as well. I'm gonna show you how you can get to this one. So this is different from this one, as you can see. So first of all, they're not symmetrical. As you can see, the orientation here is the same as this one, and if they were symmetrical, they won't be the same orientation. And as you can see here, they don't actually meet or cross the same line as this one. This is kind of all drawn up, all messed up, but basically this point here is this one, and on this side, which is, yeah, on this side here, which is this one, the lines intersected here, this zigzags intersected here. Okay, but on this case they don't intersect here, they actually intersect in between units. Okay, so they have a line, this line right here. Oh, you can see, sorry, this line right here, it's this one. Okay, and now from here you go zigzag all the way down, and once again make sure that the orientation here is the same as this one, and from here you go once again all the way to the left. Okay. So one thing you can note as well is that on this side here, the zigzag actually intersected with this point right here, but on this side they don't intersect. So this point right here is here. Okay, so they don't intersect, and that should happen on your paper as well. Okay. What else? I think for the crease pattern everything is done, so now is the time to take a look at what you pre-creased. Make sure you've creased every line, so these big ones, these ones, every line here, every zigzag, every part is pre-creased. And I just want to show, so now this crease pattern is pre-creased, okay? But I want to do one thing another thing, which is actually pre-crease some lines here on the sword, because if you take a look at the origami, so if you take a look at this whole part is the knight here, and this part here, sorry, so this whole part is the knight, but this part here is the sword. And if you look at this crease pattern, the sword is the same width, so the divisions on the sword is the same width as on the knight. But if you look at the origami, that's not the case. So the sword is actually half of the width of the knight, and that is because this part here, I actually drew it a little bit is actually you actually have to sync fold this part here, which is not part of the official crease pattern. I think this is the official crease pattern, but I'll post a link. I'll post a photo now of what lines you should crease here. So this was taken from another crease pattern that shows you the valleys and mountain folds, but honestly I didn't pre-crease. I didn't collapse my model from that. I collapsed it from here, and I didn't pre-crease any of that. So I just pre-creased those lines here from the sword, because that really helps when shaping. So what I want you to do now is actually pause the video or something like that and copy the lines that you see on the screen to your paper. So I'm going to do that by hand, because I already know where they are. So we have something like that here, then this goes on all the way here. Okay, then here we have this part, this goes on all the way. Now this one here. And this one. So yeah, make sure you should have something like this when you're done. Of course, there are more lines here. I can crease them so you know for sure that it's equal. Let's see this one as well. Yeah, I think they're all. Yes. So your sword should have something like this, and I recommend you actually pre-creasing this part, because it really helps, because the sword is a hard part to shape and this helps. So you can do that, and let me zoom out. And honestly, I think that's everything. We've done everything from the crease pattern. Hopefully you could do that, and this wasn't a complete waste of time for you. Next video I want to show you how to collapse, and that's gonna be the fun part. And once again, if you pre-crease everything right, collapsing will be much easier. So make sure you do that. Make sure you verify every line that you do. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.